Hey you guys, I'm here today to bring you this layout that I created. It's in my mixed media journal, and it is for a challenge over on Facebook, and it's Leemore 1278's mixed media group. She has an August challenge, and that was to create a page for your journal or a tag that is sunset or sky. So I chose the sky. And the other part of the challenge was that we have a huge sponsor this time, and that is Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft has sponsored this giveaway for the challenge, and so you had to use some of their products in your design. So this is what I did, just to kind of give you a walkthrough. On the background, I prepped it with gesso first, and then I went over it with these awesome gelatos made by Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft. And I used 3 colors to make the background for the sky. I made 3 colors. I used, and I don't think these have colors written on them anywhere, but it's these 3. And they come in a set with all the blues together. They look kind of like chapstick. They're really cool. And then they're real waxy, but they go on like a crayon. And then a little bit goes a long way because the color is so rich and vibrant that literally you just put a couple of spots here and a couple of spots there in different tones, and then spritz it with water and then just rub it around with your hand. It's so easy to use. And I covered my entire canvas with these 3 colors. And then after that dried really good, I came back in with some green acrylic paint in 2 different color tones and literally finger painted this entire piece. I just took and did some drips. I did some drippage where you lift it up and you spritz it with water and it drips down. And wherever it dripped, the longest drips, that's where my stems went for my flowers. I let the painting dictate where the flowers would go. And then I came back after that all dried, let it dry completely. I came back with this Jacquard textile color paint, and it's an uberly rich magenta color. And I just took a popsicle stick, pulled some of that out, put some gesso with it, some white gesso, and just finger painted in a swirly motion. I put both colors on my finger at the same time, didn't mix them, just swiped through, so I got both colors on my finger. Did this little swirl thing to make these little flowers, and love how they turned out. They're so abstract. They look like poppies, they look like roses. I love them, love them, love them. And then after all of that dried, you gotta let it dry. And I don't like using a heat tool, but you could use a blow dryer. But the thing with the heat tool with this is that it will cause the paint to bubble and crack, and I didn't want that, so I just let it dry. And then I took some butterflies that I cut from hymnal pages and just used a matte medium to adhere them down. And then down here I had to have this. This was laying on my desk, and it was kind of like one of those little scrap pieces of the hymnal page where I die cut out of it. It's just a little scrap that was laying here that would have gotten tossed, but it says heaven and earth are praising. And I just thought that would make like the perfect title for, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's right here. I just thought it would make like the perfect little title for this piece, because that to me is what this looks like, heaven and earth are praising. So that's what that says. And then I just took some green paint and just kind of worked over the top so it kind of blended in a little better. And then to make the butterflies really kind of become part of the piece, I used the Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft gelato in the gold and just went over the top of it. And then I took the black gelato and traced around it to give it that nice you know, just a kind of a little border around it. Then I felt like my poppies needed to be grounded a little bit, so what I did was I went back with this Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft Pitt artist pen, which I don't know if you guys have seen these or not, but they are India ink, which makes them like super cool, because if you draw on them on a prepped surface, and when I say prepped surface, it needs to have some kind of acrylic base to it, whether it's gesso or paint, then you can smudge it. So basically you do this, you draw your line, and then you take your finger and you just brush to blend it in. How cool is that? You just rub it in. And they make these in a lot of different colors, and I currently have a blue one, a black one, a pink one, a red one. I'm missing the greens. For some reason, my local stores do not carry the greens or the yellows. So I'm working on that. I will find them. They will show up one day. But anyway, how cool is that? That's how I did the stems. I just kind of drew them on there, and I love how these pens have this like really sharp brush tip, so you can do super fine or you can push down harder and get like more of a broader tip. Love them, love them, love them. And then for the clouds up at the top, I'm going to pull this back down so you can see it. Sorry it won't fit all in one thing, but I took the white gelato and I just rubbed it in. Seriously, they look like chapstick. And I just rubbed them in, and then just rubbed them just really good with my finger. And then I took these also and rubbed them onto a stamp, and that's made by Prima, and it's called Build a Swirl. And that's how I got these swirls that are up here around the page. I just kind of added them to the clouds and stuff, just for a little extra something, texture or something. And then I felt like the gelatos were kind of faint, so that's what I have down in here, but I really wanted some highlights in my clouds a little more, so I just took some dry brushed on with my fingers some of the cloud, you know, some gesso into the clouds, just to kind of give them a little bit of a highlight. And I think that's everything about this canvas. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. My next video, I'm going to share a couple of other pieces from my art journal, so that I can keep you guys abreast on what I've been making. And as always, go check out my blog at psychomomscrapbooks.blogspot.com. I'll put the link down at the bottom. And thank you for watching. And thank you, Leemore and Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft, for this challenge. It was awesome. I had a great time. Thanks.